That's a very interesting point. The earlier panel also alluded to it. So you're saying that women themselves are also opting out of certain jobs. Now that brings us to the point that in any organization, whether it is manufacturing or other, sales is going to be an important force. In manufacturing, production and manufacturing is going to be an important part of it, right? And since you yourself have been a frontline relationship manager, what worries do you think women have when they opt out of these two kinds of environment?
So I think the biggest inhibition that women carry is in their mind themselves, to say, I will not be able to do a sales job, or I will not be able to do, to be on the shop floor, and so on and so forth. And I think that, in my view, is the biggest stumbling block, because it's, if you start with an inhibition, then you're never trying out that job. Frankly, if you ask me, when I started my career, though it was not a sales job, not a marketing job, and so on, but it was a job where I had to visit factories, because it was a project appraisal job. You had to go out, you had to actually take overnight trains, go to factories in interiors of Maharashtra or somewhere else, visit a factory. There were actually no women's toilets in those factories or in those offices. Nobody was used to having, a young girl walking around on their shop floor and kind of inspecting. And one could have, worked with an inhibition and said, this is not a job that I can do, let me shift out of that job. But I think the more you try and do that job, you realize that it's your work that speaks for itself. So, if you're good at your work, you are accepted in the job that you're doing. So clearly, you can now carry these examples further. I have seen the best of shop floors that are actually, in a way, manned by women. You go abroad, you go to many countries, and you see the highest precision production shop floors are actually run by women in a big manner. You saw the panel here. We talked about now, that women are choosing orthopedics, they're choosing urology. You had, a lady here who's heading collections for us. Now, this used to be a kind of a job which we never thought a girl can do. But today, as an organization, why today? I mean, I would say that ICSA as an organization always believed that someone who has a potential and capability can do that job. But I'm saying even women think that they can do that job. You looked at Shilpa, who conducted the panel discussion. I can really think of very few banks where treasuries and markets are run by a woman. But they are run, and they run very well. So I think we have to get rid of these inhibitions, both from the women themselves and from the organizations, and just look at saying, this is a job and this is a person who's capable to do the job. And if the person is capable, that person will put in their best effort. Doesn't matter whether the person is a male or a female.
There are real worries girls and women have about personal security, maybe in a shop floor, more so in a sales. Are there anything organizations can do to alleviate this worry for them, even if the girls are okay with it? They get blocked by the family members. So is there something organizations can do in order to reassure women that you indeed can walk into a shop floor and do the job, you can be safe. You can go and do sales, you can be safe. Is there anything?
Yeah, indeed. I think the issues around physical personal security is something that we should not undermine. I mean, I would not call that an inhibition. I would say that's a fact of life, and organizations need to make those special efforts to make sure that the women working in their environment are safe. First of all, of course, when you talk of a shop floor, safety is relevant for everybody, whether males or females. But again, I think that special security that women require, the organizations should go out of their way to make that happen. As we do in our organization, that is, when women go for late meetings, we keep a track of, they're supposed to actually leave a message saying where they're going for the meeting, how long are they expected to be in the meeting, so that we know what time they are expected to come out. When they come out, we track whether they have come out or not. If they're working late, we make sure that they do not travel alone to their home, but somebody accompanies them. I think these are basic hygiene factors that we definitely need to take into account.